Today we're using my 5 attachment Cypher 091 here in Black Ops 6. I'm in overpowered class setup that you guys can dominate lobbies with. Let's get right into the attachments. I personally love this attachment because you're allowed to take those longer range gunfights that you wouldn't without this attachment on. I personally love this attachment because it's going to maintain the recoil so that way your gun isn't shaking or having a really wonky recoil pattern at those longer ranges. So make sure you guys have this on. You guys can see with these stats, you're getting 32% to the recoil gun kick control and then 35% to the vertical recoil control. For my next attachment for my barrel, I had the gain twist barrel, and this is going to give you 3 ticks of bullet velocity. Now, if you guys didn't know, if you do put on the gain twist barrel, it does give you a different optic as an iron sight. So that's the main reason why I was using this. But it's also going to help out at those longer range gunfights, making your bullets connect a lot faster. So make sure you guys have this on. You guys can see here with these stats, you're getting 40% to the bullet velocity. For my next attachment for my underbarrel, I had the G grip, and this is going to give you 2 ticks of recoil stabilization, 2 ticks of horizontal recoil control, and then 2 ticks of hip fire to ADS accuracy. I was mainly using this attachment just because I've never tried it out before, and it is a really good underbarrel for those longer range gunfights, so that way your gun isn't shaking or having a really wonky recoil pattern. So make sure you guys have this on. You guys is here with these stats, you're getting 1% to the recoil gun kick control and then 20% to the horizontal recoil control. For my next attachment for my rear grip, I had the commando grip, and this is going to give you 2 ticks of ADS speed, 2 ticks of jumping sprint to fire speed, 2 ticks of sprint to fire speed, and then 2 ticks of jumping ADS speed. I personally love this attachment because it reminds me a lot of the double quick draw attachment from BO4. You're going to have a very fast ADS and sprint to fire speed, and if you do decide to jump, you will have an increased ADS speed as well as sprint to fire speed as well. So make sure you guys have this on. You guys can see with these stats, you're getting 15% to the ADS speed, 15% to the jump ADS speed, 24% to the sprint to fire speed, and then 24% to the jump sprint to fire speed. Finally, for the fire mods, I had the recoil springs, and this is going to give you 2 ticks of horizontal recoil control as well as 2 ticks of vertical recoil control. I personally love this attachment because it's going to make sure you're able to take those longer range gunfights without your gun having a really wonky recoil pattern or any shake. This is going to help out with gun kick control, vertical recoil control, as well as horizontal recoil control. So make sure you guys have this on. You guys can see here with these stats, you're getting 10% to the recoil gun kick control, 10% to the horizontal recoil control, and then 10% to the vertical recoil control. Here are all my perks on the screen. For the wild card, make sure you guys using high roller or perk read. Here are all my perks on the screen with these stats. If you guys are new, make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. See how long we can use the Cypher for until it gets annoying.
Hardpoint is secure. Claim the advantage. Now hold it.
Bro, where? Hey, this game, dude, half of them are just AFK. I'd rather this lobby than any other lobby we've had today. Dude, this dude loves laying on top of shit. He lays on top of the tank, then he goes to the truck. Alright, there's... Dude, you're level 300 using an LC-10. This man loves his trucks.
Hardpoint identified. Hardpoint active. Hardpoint is secure. Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Hardpoint locked down.
I guess they're not gonna go to the flags? What's going on? Dude. Dude, I would've shit on you, Eagle's Eye. You just, bro, ain't AMAX, AMAX, AMAX.
Hardpoint is active.
Flying on fumes. UAV returning to base.
Hardpoint is secure. Hostiles have the hardpoint.
Standing by.
Must play fair.
Hardpoint locked down.
Down UAV is under attack.
Calling in score streak.
Welker in position. Deploying ETS.
Let me guess he's hanging on a tank. I don't even know how the fuck you saw me through all that smoke.
Establishing score streak.
UAV in the turn. We have eyes on.
Dude, honestly, they need to add the Hades crossbar in this game and we'll be able to dominate every one of these little meta. I doubt it. 2 seconds will be fun and then we're gonna have every other person using it.
Hardpoint identified.
Counter UAV terminating ETM operation.
Hardpoint active.
Mission timeline expired. UAV RTV.
Hostiles have the hardpoint.
Enemy field upgrade.
Hardpoint locked down. Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Hardpoint is secure.
Fair and win.
You
Hostiles
little.
have the hardpoint. Hardpoint locked down. Requesting hard image.
Available for task.
One last calling in score.
Hardpoint located.
Electronic countermeasures active.
Activating sequence. Are you enjoying the news?
Hardpoint is active. Hardpoint is secure.
Operator establishing score streak.
UAV commencing surveillance operation. Counter UAV 50% fuel remaining.
Net call. Sleeper agent detected.
I knew that dude had sleeper agent. Dude, sleeper agent. Don't tell me that dude was laying on top of the tank with sleep. No.
Hardpoint locked down. Deliver care package on my location. Hardpoint identified. Hardpoint active.
Currently on a mission to steal a care package. Let's go. I got a free war machine. That is still teammates care package. Get fucked.
Hardpoint is secure. They're right where we want them. Finish the job.
Good.
Hardpoint located. Hardpoint is active.
Bye bye.
Hardpoint locked down.
I got another war machine. Hey, dude, you literally spawned behind me or just walked up behind me like a freak. Dude, why the fuck aren't these kids? These kids aren't even going to the hill. There we go. We got the win.